Yes guys, what is going on? Hope you can hear me. It is pretty windy but warm here in the UK. So before we get into today's video, I'd like you guys to do a couple of things. Firstly, like this video if you haven't already, and so please subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell, because why not? It just takes 1 second, just get it done. Next thing is as well, if you leave some comments below after you've watched the video, that would be much appreciated. Let's get into today's video. Okay, so here we're going to be looking at something called emergency defending. Okay, so I think this would be something new to people's ears if you aren't a coach or a manager being in and around football at a decent level anyway. So emergency defending basically means having to defend an emergency kind of state, if you like, and maybe in a disorganized manner, in a situation where the team are kind of desperate, if you like, or an individual is desperate as well. So we're looking at the Reds again. They're set up in a 1-4-5-1 formation, and really at the moment they're really organised. The distance between each of the players, the 3 and the 5, 5 and the 6, 6 and the 2, really good, nice and even. Again, 11, 8, 4, 10, 7 in that 5 in there, really tight and compact. And again, the distances between the defensive unit here and the midfield unit really narrow as well. And then you maybe got the 9 dropping in to affect the 4 as well when necessary. So the distances are really good, and also the 1's playing sort of a decent highest position. If any free balls, for example, or clip passes get played over the top, he can affect that as well. So we're going to use Burnley as a really good example, because I think Burnley under Sean Dyche were one of the best teams having to defend in an emergency defending manner, and there is an art to it as well. But there is other good managers and teams that have done it in the past. You look at Chris Hughton under Brighton. He did a really good job with Brighton. And then you've got like Tony Pulis typically at Stoke and other teams as well, where he's managed West Brom, etc. So we're going to use Man City as a greens, if you like. You've got Rodri on the ball. So you look at it here, you've got the 7 that's free, you've got the 11 that's free as well. That's typically how Man City kind of play. And Burnley obviously defending the central area. So first thing to sort of mention is the 8 is goal side of the 10, the 10 is goal side of the 8 there, and also the 5 and 6 are making sure they can sort of deal with the number 9, and the 4 is kind of protecting that passing lane there. So everything's looking really good for Burnley. Now, where this could sort of develop, and where they might have to defend in an emergency kind of manner as a team or as an individual, is maybe, for example, 4 plays a clip pass out to the number 11, right? So typically here, 2 would come out, come and defend in a 1v1 situation, 6, 5 will come across, 3, etc. 10 making sure he's affecting the opposite number 8, and etc. here. 4's coming across to support, 3's coming across to support as well. Okay, now say you've got Raheem Sterling here against Phil Barsley or Matt Lowton or whoever it may be, the right back at Burnley. You would fancy Raheem Sterling with the pace he's got and the trickery he's got to outdo him. So now he's got past the 2, okay? He's going beyond the 2 in this situation here. 2 scrambling to try and get back. Now, typically Man City like to have them cut backs straight away. The 6 will be coming back here to protect that position here, the front post, that Pomo position. 5 is coming back here, maybe affecting with that number 9 run. 3 is coming back in here to protect the goal as well, because you have the opposite number 7 coming in. Here, this is where it gets tricky. Now, this player might switch off, and this kind of happens quite a lot when you kind of the blind side or the opposite side of the ball. The 8 might be more alert. He's now coming in here ahead of the 10. 10's a fraction too late. Cutback comes into the 8 in here. And this is where the emergency defender now happens, because if you look at it, they're not set. The 10 is in the wrong position. He's not goal side of the 8. Obviously, the 2 is not the right side of the 11. And it's a little bit messed up. So now the 6 might have to come across and think about what type of player this player is. Now, he might strike this first time. Say it's Kevin De Bruyne. He's coming across his body, might shape into the far corner. This is where he might spread himself into a bigger frame to try and block that shot in the far corner. It might be a Bernardo Silva. So this is where you've got to think even smarter. It might be that he takes a touch onto his left foot, you cut that one there, maybe try and spread yourself, but then this is where the attackers might go through the opposition defender's leg into that far corner. So you're having to maybe throw your body on the line, spread yourself as wide as possible in a desperate kind of manner to try and block a really good opportunity for the opposition, okay? So before, we were set up in a really good way, we could really sort of shift across and block any passing lanes, and making sure the distances are really, really good between the units and sort of the individual units as well. But in this situation here, where it's a bit more disorganised, this is where you've got to put your body on the line. You've really got to make sure you work as a team individual. It could be that Bernardo Silva fakes that, and the six has gone across and slide, and all of a sudden maybe the five's got to come across because Bernardo's faked it, and he's got to come and be a block as well. You know, in this situation, then the nine's free, the three's got to come across. So this is where it gets really, really hectic, and you've got to have a sort of HD vision, if you like, and making sure you've got a lot of clarity in your mind of how you want to defend, making sure you make your body as big as possible to make it more difficult for the attacking player to try and get a strike on goal. So here we're going to be looking at how to play as a single midfield pivot, okay? So typically a midfielder as a single pivot would be someone who kind of plays deeper than the rest of his midfield counterparts as a solo, so i.e. a single pivot, okay? So formation isn't quite set up like that way. I'm just going to show you how to kind of rearrange that and give you some examples both in and out of possession, okay? So we've actually got a 1-4-4-1-1 formation, if you like, set up, but we're going to be looking at the number 4, if you like. He's the one who's going to play a little bit deeper. So we just kind of disperse these players a little bit. And we've also got the goalkeeper that's on the ball at the moment as well. So we're set up sort of in a goal kick sort of position, if you like. Okay, so we're going to put the fullbacks nice and high, the wingers, the 7 and 11 nice and high as well. And we're going to disperse the centre halves. 5 and 6 can go nice and wide. 8 might play off the 4. So the 4 is going to now drop in and receive the ball, making sure you open body shape. So then you can go and play forwards, maybe into the 8 there. Then you can also maybe play out wide, maybe to the 6. You can also play one out to the 2. So that's one example of sort of how a single pivot can kind of dictate. Another example could be, again, we're set up in a goal kick position. Again, we're kind of dispersed. But now the ball is going to play out to a centre half. And this position here, we're maybe going to have the 3 play a little bit higher, the 11 play higher, 8's going to go offset. 4 is now going to drop in and again receive the ball between the 2 centre halves, 1, 2, and again look to play forwards, maybe in there, maybe the 10 drops in this half space and then plays in there. So that's another example, again from a goal kick position. We're playing a little bit higher maybe, so let's just put the 9 and the 10 maybe in and around the box, 11 out wide, 7, 8, 3, 5, 4 there for now, 2, 6, 1 nice and high. Say the 2's got the ball over here, okay, and they're in kind of like in the going into the final third, sort of middle third area, if you like. And again, the 4 is looking to sort of get on the ball, so he might drop in. So he might start in this position here. The 2 can't maybe go down the line. The passing lane's been blocked off there. So maybe the 4 drops in here, receives the ball, and again, it's kind of in between the 5 and the 6, and again, higher than the 8. Well, the 8 slightly higher, the 4 slightly deeper, and again can dictate and maybe play forwards from that position there. Okay, so just moving on, we've incorporated some of the opposition as well. We're still working with the number 4 in the red in particular. Give me a couple of different examples of what the number 4 could be doing, and it does kind of depend on the instruction of the manager and the philosophy of the club and the ethos of the manager as well. So just an example here, the 4 of the opposition might have the ball. Both teams are playing a 1-4-3-3 as well. So you've got 3 midfielders in here for the opposition, and you've got 3 midfielders in here for the team that we're kind of looking at, okay? So typically, maybe the 4's got the ball in here, 8 and the 8 and the 10 are in half positions, ready to press the 10. Again, the 10's in here, ready to press the 8. They don't want to be locked on immediately because it allows that 4 to just drive in that space. So they're in that half position, okay? So kind of, you know, daring to play maybe in there, but also out wide as well, okay? So straight away, you know, the 8 might, so the 4 might dribble slightly in this direction, 8 might go engage in here, and then the 10 might be free, so that means the 4 will come across and go and squeeze in there. Okay, that's an example of what maybe a number 4 could do in that position. Ideally, they want to try and stay in this central area here, not vacate that too much. Another example could be that the 4 is playing out wide, maybe to the 8, so the 4 is playing out to the 8 there, and then everyone just kind of slides across, and everything's kind of lateral passes. And again, the 4's in there, maybe the 8's looking to play into the 9, but the 4's coming here to block the pass and so he's very much sliding across and screening as the play is kind of developing. So there's a couple of examples of what a number 4 could do out of possession. So